Gentlemen, swimmers and coaches, please listen carefully as the following is an important safety announcement. Swimmers, you are reminded that the depth of the water at the starting end is 1 metre and the depth of the water at the turning end is 1.8 metres.
The height of the starting blocks above the water at the start end is 700 millimetres.
Only those swimmers who have reached the standard of the ASA Competitive Start Award are permitted to start with a shallow racing dive from the starting blocks.
In the event of a false start, please continue with a shallow racing dive. You must not topple into the water, head downwards as this is dangerous.
Please do not sit or pull yourself along the lane ropes throughout the gala, and when leaving the pool, please exit to the sides and do not climb over the timing boards.
If you are starting in the water, you must lower yourself over the side. Do not jump or dive.
In the event that we need to evacuate the building, the sound you will hear will be an electronic siren and red lights will flash around the building.
In this case, please leave the building using the nearest, safest emergency exit, which are to be kept clear at all times.
In the event of an emergency, please follow the direction of the swim centre staff. Swimmers and officials, you are reminded not to return to the changing rooms to collect your personal belongings.
There should be no glass on poolside.
In line with the recommendation in the ASA Child Protection Policy, the promoters of this event request that anybody wishing to engage in any zoom, video or close-range photography must register their details with staff at entrance control before carrying out any such photography.
This includes the use of a mobile phone with an image capturing facility.
Thank you for your attention. Enjoy today's event.
Can we please have a coach from each club to the foyer, please? That is a coach from each club to the foyer, please, promptly. Thank you. Last call, please, for the under-13 boys relays, please. That's the very last call for all the boys to be swimming in the under-13 relays, please, to the marshalling area.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please put your hands together and welcome your president and your officials for session 9. And your commentator for session 9, Mr. Daniel Garcia.
Thank you, After Dark. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the venue. Welcome to the Hertfordshire ASA County Championship Session 9. Your Saturday night starts right here. We have a fun-packed session for you. We have 8 events in total. I must advise our event number 50, the men's 200 breaststroke 16-year-old and championship events are being swum under protest. The results of these events will be confirmed on resolution of the protest. This means there will be no medals or trophies awarded until the protest is concluded. Thank you. Okay, so event number 45, that's the women's under 13 4x50 metre freestyle, will be competed in 2 heats. Heat number 1, we will have Harpenden in lane 1, Hemel Hempstead in 2, Hitchin in 3, Harpenden A in 4, Berkhamsted A in 5, Potters Bar B in 6, Hemel Hempstead and B in lane 7, Hempstead B in 7, and Watford A in lane 8.
Right, okay. Well done, mate. Do you want to... Yeah, what we did last time. Okay, we are nearly ready to go. We're going to be starting this under 13s 4x50 metre relay. Going to be swimming 2 heats, and it's the heat declared winner, so it's fastest times across both heats. So you need to watch the times in the first heat to make sure that you see what the second heat are going after. And this is heat number 1 of the 4x50 metre freestyle relay. Swimmers in all lanes. So away we go on the lead-off leg. 2 lengths to the pool each. Early lead in lanes 2 and 3 for Hemel Hempstead and Hitchin. Hitchin first to turn, coming back down here. Hemel strongly after them, and then right after them we've got Harpenden in lane 4. So coming up to the first changeover, very close between Hemel and Hitchin. All the other teams in a line, and in go Hitchin. You go Hemel, Harpenden, and then Watford and Hemel at the same time on the outside lanes. And then Berkhamsted and Potters Bar. Pulling away at the moment, Hemel Hempstead in the lead. Harry Barron for Hemel, racing against Vicky Brackenbury for Hitchin. And also going well now on the outside lane 8, Watford. Katie Fitch is going very well. But in they go now, Hemel away, and also now Hitchin. Yeah, Harpenden in 3rd place at the moment, but also Watford coming up in the... And Watford have now overtaken Harpenden, and it's now still Hemel Hempstead in the lead. Coming up to their final handover, timing at 1:33 at the moment. This is going to be fast, so coming up and going in on their final handover, 1:38, Hemel Hempstead. And Hitchin going at 1:42, 1:43 now for Harpenden and also for Watford. 1:44 for lane 5, which is Berkhamsted. Hemel Hempstead are going to win this one, so we'll watch the times because the times will count for the next race coming up. Hitchin now coming under pressure from Harpenden. And Harpenden also with Borehamwood alongside them. First to touch, 2:11.25, Hemel Hempstead A. Second was Hitchin, 2:15.81. 2:16.61's the third place there, which was Harpenden. So watch those times, remember those times. We're now going to be having the second heat of this relay, and the fastest times will win it. So everyone watching out closely for it. Going to be a new championship record because these events have not been swum before.
So here we go with heat number 2 of the women's under 13 4 by 50 metre freestyle. We've got teams in all 8 lanes, referee. So here we go with heat number 2. We have Protestar A in lane 1, Cheshunt A in lane 2, Costa in lane 3, Hatfield A in lane 4, Hatfield B in lane 5, Hoddesdon in 6, Bishop Stortford in 7, and Hoddesdon B in lane 8. Can we have the intermediate girls to the marching area, please? But the first handover in a time of 30.96, that's Hatfield A, just ahead of Bishop Stortford. In the second leg of 4 at the moment. Very close indeed between Hatfield A and Costa. Hatfield A in lane 4 and Costa in lane 3. Bishop Stortford in lane 7. But it's still Hatfield A in time 1:01.95 at the halfway point. Second to Bishop Stortford and Costa third at the halfway point. But here we are, the final handover now. Hatfield A still look like they have the lead over Bishop Stortford. Hatfield A takes 1:34.3, very close indeed between Hatfield A in 4 and Bishop Stortford in 7. Hatfield in 4, Bishop Stortford in 7. Who will get the touch of the final 25? Looking to close in a time of 2:11.25. It's neck and neck. It's close. It's close between Hatfield in 4. Bishop Stortford in 7. Who's it going to be? It is Bishop Stortford in a time of 2:04.55. 2:04.55. 700ths of a second ahead of Hatfield. And in third place, in a time of 2:08.41, Cheshunt. A new championship record by Bishop Stortford at a time of 2:04.55.
Really exciting stuff. Next event's event 46, the men's under 13 years, 4x50 metre medley relay. Then we swim in 2 heats. Heat 1, we've got swimmers, teams in lanes 2 to 6. Referee.
Take your
Can we have intermediate girls for the relay teams? Intermediate girl relay teams, we need immediately, please, the marching area. So, back breast fly free. We're off with Hemel Hempstead in lane 1, in lane 2 rather. Potter's Bar in lane 3. Hitchin in lane 4. Hartsmith Flyers in 5 and Harpenden in B team in 6. Pushing on hard at the moment, Hemel Hempstead, Sam Gaines in lane 1. And going after him, Potter's Bar's Sam Barkin in lane 3. And off the first discipline, 37.82, it's Hemel Hempstead in the lead. 38.84, Hartsmith Flyers in second there, and then Harpenden B team. But good breaststroke here from Hemel Hempstead's Charlie Rayner. Looking very strong on the breaststroke. Very even behind though at the moment. Alfie Francis for Potter's Bar. Hartsmith Flyers, Dylan Osher, very close, but in we go. 1:14.43 for the second half into the fly for Hemel Hempstead in the lead. Second to go in there is Hartsmith Flyers and then Potter's Bar. And then Harpenden and then Hitchin. Well, we're certainly going to set a good time here in lane 2. Hemel Hempstead's 18. Cameron Fakes waiting to go in on the freestyle. And in he goes, a 150.99. Great battle behind, but coming through now in lane 5, Hartsmere Flyers. Or Goldberg has pulled them right up into second place ahead of Potter's Bar. In they go, 2:03.03. Potter's Bar at 2:06.31. 2:07, a good fly leg there also from Hitchin. Right back up there, 2:08, lane 6 for Harpenden. Last few strokes, Hemel Hempstead. Let's look at the time, make a note of the time, and they touch it. 2:23.5. 2:23.5 is the time set for the others to chase. Second to touch, 2:34.44. Lane 5, Hartsmere Flyers. Coming in right behind them, 2:39.92 for Potter's Bar, and then 2:41.37 for Hitchin. Intermediate boys, please. Intermediate boys relay teams, we need straight away, please. Intermediate boys relay teams straight away. So that's the time to beat. 2:23.5. Intermediate girls should be at the marching area.
Okay, heat number 2 now of the event number 46, the men's under 13 4x50 metre medley relay. Referee. So where they go, back breast fly free. We have Tring in lane 1, Costa in 2, Harpenden A team in 3, Hatfield A in 4, Hatfield B in 5, Bishop Stortford in 6, Berkhamsted in 7, Hoddesdon in lane 8. As Peter said, we've got a time of 2:23.50 is the marker from heat number 1, set by Hemel. And at the first touch, that is Bishop Stortford turning in time of 33.98, second to Berkhamsted in 36.70, and Costa in time of 37.62 as we enter the all-important breaststroke leg. Berkhamsted all have the lead in this breaststroke straight over in lane number 7. Being pursued by Hatfield A in lane 4, but at the halfway turn, turning in a time of 1:12.42. It is Berkhamsted, second to lane 4. Costa in 1:14.11, and in lane 6, Bishop Stortford in 1:16.46. The fly leg. Berkhamsted still leading ahead from Hatfield A in lane 4, Berkhamsted in 7. Berkhamsted in 7 being pushed very hard by Hatfield in lane 4. Bishop Stortford in lane 6, but with 50 to go, it is still in a time 1:48.26, still Berkhamsted very close, 1:48.93. Half a second separates them. Hatfield, but Hatfield now take the lead in lane 4. Hatfield A have the lead now over Bishop Berkhamsted. We're looking to get inside a 2 with 2:23.50. Close now, Hatfield in 4. Bishop Stortford in 6. Bishop Stortford coming back against Berkhamsted. Who will get the touch? It is Hatfield A in a time of 2:18.87. Second, Bishop Stortford in 2:20.55. And third, Berkhamsted at a time of 2:21.74.
Intermediate girls and boys we are really short of, so intermediate boys relay teams, we need you urgently at the marshalling area. Steve tells me there are very few there, so intermediate boys please, to the marshalling area immediately please. Event 47 is the women's under 16 4x50 metre medley relay. This is going to be swum in 2 heats. Heat 1, swimmers in all lanes. So away we go, and in lane 1 we've got Berkhamsted, lane 2 Hitchin, lane 3 Hartsmere Flyers, 4 Harpenden, all A teams apart from the Berkhamsted one. Costa A is in 5, Potters Bar A is in 6, Watford B is in 7, and Potters Bar B is in lane 8. Close at the moment, but it's between 3, 5 and 7. And in we go, it's 34.02 for Hartsmere Flyers, just ahead of Watford, and in third to go in there is St Albans. And at the moment we've still got lane 3 going away from them. Hartsmere Flyers, Charlotte Garcia turning at the other end, pulling away a little bit now. Being chased by St Albans, Freya Bennett, and also going after is Kathleen Dang from Harpenden, also coming through strongly, but it's going to be Flyers going in first at 1:13.06, 1:14.56 now for Harpenden, 1:14.88 right behind them for St Albans. But still in the lead at the moment, Hartsmere Flyers A team in lane 3. And coming down towards this final handover, it's going to be the Flyers who are going to go in first, very close behind. Good swim by St Albans, coming through strongly into second. In go the Flyers at 1:44. St Albans are going to go to 1:46, catching up a bit. 1:47, 1:48 for Harpenden and Potters Bar. Potters Bar in the lane 6. Very, very close. Good battle also between lanes 1 and 2. From Berkhamsted and Hitchin. Into the last few strokes, it's St Albans in lane 6, lane 5, and Flyers in lane 3. It's going to be right down to the touch, and as they come in touch, it goes to Hartsmere Flyers, 2:15.66, St Albans 2:15.92, And in third place, 2:16.87 was the Harpenden A team. So they're the times to look at. 2:15.66 the time set. And now we move on to the second heat of this girls' medley relay.
Sorry. Let's have to hear something. I haven't seen the tail on. Is it on the first page?
Could we please call all the 400 IM swimmers, please, to the marshalling area. That's all women 400 metre IM swimmers to the marshalling area as soon as possible, please. So here we go with heat number 2, the final heat of event number 47, the women's under 16 4x50 metre medley relay referee. Back, breast, fly free. Here we go. We've got swimmers on all 8 lanes. A time of 2:15.66 is the marker. We have Hemel in lane 1, Cheshunt in lane 2, Watford in lane 3, Hatfield A in lane 4, Hoddesdon in lane 5, Hatfield B in lane 6, Bishop Stortford in lane 7, and Berkhamsted A in lane 8. But the first handover in a time of 31:33, that's Bishop Stortford. Second to Hoddesdon in lane 5 and Watford in lane 3. Now the breaststroke leg. All very close across the pool, all very exciting. Looks like Bishop Stortford at the moment just have the edge on Hoddesdon in lane 5. At the halfway mark, race leader is Bishop Stortford. Second, Hoddesdon. Third, Hatfield A. 1:08.68 is the halfway time. Entering the butterfly. Change of race leader. At the moment, we now have Hoddesdon, who have taken the lead. Hoddesdon now in the final handover, handing over. This is Georgie Pryor handing over to Amy Godsaven, a time of 1:36.95. Second is Bishop Stortford. Third, Hatfield A. But Hoddesdon look like they will close out this race. Very close to second, between Hatfield in lane 4 and Bishop Stortford and ASM, but touching at a time of 2:03.42. It is Hoddesdon. Hoddesdon win. Look at the time difference between lanes 4 and 7. Hatfield just edge out Bishop Stortford 0.03 of a second.
Well, another really exciting race, and we're coming on now to event 48, the men's under 16 4x50 metre junior freestyle relay, and this is going to be swum in 2 heats. Heat 1, teams in lanes 2 to 7. Referee. There we go, lane 1 is Borehamwood B, lane 2 Bishop Stortford A, lane 3 Cheshunt A, 4 is Potters Bar B, 5 is Hemel A, and lane 6 is Watford B. Coming down to the first changeover, very, very close indeed. Bishop Stortford going in actually just after, in fact, Hemel Hempstead, and then Potters Bar and Cheshunt. But absolutely together, we've got 4 teams in a line across the pool. This is going to be very, very close. Coming down now towards the halfway handover. 4 teams absolutely together. Bishop Stortford, Cheshunt, Potters Bar and Hemel, and in they all go together. Potters Bar in the middle, just starting to pull away, and you got Potters Bar alongside Cheshunt. Potters Bar and Cheshunt just now fractionally clear of Hemel Hempstead and Bishop Stortford. But now here come back Hemel Hempstead now starting to come back. And Hemel Hempstead are right back there as well. It's going to be in go Potters Bar just before Bishop Stortford, and for Hemel Hempstead and Cheshunt, and then Bishop Stortford. Final turn, Potters Bar just ahead of Hemel Hempstead. It's Hemel Hempstead coming out first though. Hemel Hempstead going into the lead from Potters Bar. These two very close. And on the other side of the pool, we've got Bishop Stortford, but a touch goes to Hemel Hempstead. 151.41, 151.84 for Potters Bar. Very, very close. Bishop Stortford in third, 152.94. We've had some very, very tight finishes to these 50-metre relays. Very exciting stuff. So we have a second heat coming up. We have swimmers in all lanes on this one. We're just collecting the teams. For those of you in the gallery, you might like to know that this is going out on YouTube all around the world, and we understand we've got people who are watching this from the other side of the world, in Australia, in America, and South Africa. We've got a lot of people logging on to watch this, so they're all watching some very, very exciting stuff here in Borehamwood.
So heat number 2 of the men's under 16 4-metre freestyle relay referee. So with a time of 151.41 to beat, set by Hemel Hempstead, we have in lane 1 Hertford, in 2 Hitchin, in 3 Costa, 4 Hatfield A, 5 Watford, 6 Hatfield B, 7 Potters Bar, and in lane 8 Borehamwood A. At the first touch, that is Hitchin, touching a time of 26.66. Second to Hatfield, and touching in third, that is Costa. Who will have the lead at the halfway mark? Close between lanes 2 and 4. But at the halfway mark, it is still Hitchin. Hitchin just ahead from Hatfield. Hitchin, Hatfield, and Costa. So with 50 to go at the final handover, it is Hatfield now who have taken over the lead, turning into the final 50 metres. Hatfield touching in a time 1:18.78, second to Hitchin, third Costa. But it looks like Hatfield A will win this race. Hatfield in lane 4, touching in a time 1:43.74. Second, that's Hitchin, 1:45.93, and third, Costa in time 1:47.34. All those times inside the times from heat number 1. Clear the pool, please, boys. Please clear the pool. And that concludes event number 48.
Well, here we go now. That's some very, very, very exciting relays. New records set for some of the younger ones as well, so they'll be in the record books for next year. And I'm sure that a lot of people have had a great amount of fun watching those, enjoyment all around the world. We'll now move on to the 400 metres individual medley. This is going to be swum in 7 heats for the girls. And then we're going to follow that up with the men's 200 metre breaststroke, which has got 12 heats of that. So got a bit to do, and then we finish off with another batch of very exciting relays. The women's 400 metres individual medley, heat 1, swimmers in lanes 3, 4 and 5. So away we go on this 400 metres. I am, so 4 lengths on each discipline. 3 swimmers in the pool, all 10 years old. Eleanor Mason from Bishop Stortford, and Francesca Pecci in lane 4 from Watford, and lane 5 is Alice Richardson from Harpenden. A lot of them are going to be enduring this fly. Looking forward to getting onto the backs for the little bit of breathing as they turn. First to turn 44.45, first to turn to Francesca Pecci, 44.55 for Alice, and then 46 for Eleanor. Coming up now to the back to the fly to back change, and they've all done very well, these young swimmers. 400, this is fantastic. 142, 143 and 147 at the turns. That's really, really good swimming. Now they can get going on the back. Got that bit out the way. And moving away now in the middle, Francesca Pecci looks pretty good on her back. And Alice Richardson on the backstroke all looks good too. The Mason, who's got to the end of the butterfly and is now looking more comfortable on the backstroke. Now these have all got entry times of, got 7:10 for Francesca Pecci and 7:31 for the other two, so see where we get to at the end of this. So 2 more lengths of backstroke, 2:30, 2:33 for Alice, and then Eleanor at 2:38. Away we go from back to breast. 3:21 for our leader, 3:22. That's very close now. But in the lead now, Francesca Pecci and then Alice Richardson. 3:28 for Eleanor Mason. Again, looking for times of 7:31 for the outside lanes and 7:10 in the middle. So looking pretty good. These are going to go fast now. Turning at 3:50 and 3:52, so 2 or 3 seconds between the first and second, and about another 4 seconds between second and third. They all seem to be very evenly matched on the breaststroke. 2 more lengths to go. So Francesca Pecci turns out 4:16.7. Alice Richardson at 4:21.19, so she's dropped a little bit further back. Eleanor Mason turns at 4:27 in lane 3. So on this turn here, there's 5 lengths to go. 5 lengths to go, and looking very, very good against their entry times if they can keep this moving. Looking extremely good. Coming down now, this second length of the breaststroke. And Alice Richardson and Harpenden in lane 5 is starting to come back a little bit on Francesca Pecci in lane 4 from Watford. And she's starting to just reel her in a little bit, and going well also Eleanor Mason. She's can see the freestyle coming up. Francesca turns at 5:14.41, 5:16.97 for Alice Richardson. Last couple of strokes of the breaststroke for Eleanor, and then she's on the free. And she turns into the freestyle, 5:26. Three lengths to go for our leaders, 3 lengths, and they're at 5:37. Francesca Pecci from Watford in lane 4, now getting slowly caught by Alice Richardson from Harpenden in lane 5, and they're going to be turning almost together with 2 lengths to go. 50 metres, and they turn absolutely together at 58, 5:58. There's 20 seconds difference in their entry times. Eleanor Mason coming down, looking for 7:31 entry time. Eleanor got 50 metres to go, and she turns at 6:16, looking very good to get well inside her entry time. Big sprint at the end of this 16-length race, and in lane 5 it's Alice Richardson from Harpenden. All these swimmers 10 years old. Alice Richardson entered at 7:31, and look at this for a PB, and she touches at 6:38.97. Francesca Pecci enters 7:10, and she goes 6:42.05. Both got tremendous times. Last few strokes for Eleanor Mason. She enters 7:31. She's going to be miles inside her entry time. She comes down in the last 5 strokes, and she can see the end in sight, and she comes in and touches a 7:03. Nearly 30 seconds inside her entry time. Very well done to those three girls. Heat number 2 of the ladies' 400 metres individual medley. Heat number 2, away we go on this, and we've got a mixture of age groups in this. Olivia Searle is in lane 2, she's 11 from Hatfield. Jessica Turley in lane 3, 12 from Stevenage. Lane 4 is Olivia McGill, who's 10 from Hatfield. One or two 10-year-olds in this. Lane 5, Jessica Leitner, who's 12 from St Albans. Lane 6, Izzy Salisbury, 11 from Berkhamsted. And 10-year-old Ruby Blackburn is in lane 7 from Watford. So coming down now into the last length for the fly for our good fly swimmer here in lane 3. Been chased in lanes 4 and 5 as well now though, but Jessica Turley from Stevenage looking very good on the fly. Libby McGill and Jessica Leitner going after her. But Jessica Turley, 12-year-old, into 6:31, and she turns into the backstroke at 1:25.12. Next to turn, 1:32.61 for Jessica Leitner and Libby McGill at 1:32.7. 1:35.71 the split for Izzy Salisbury. 1:40.16 for Olivia Searle. 1:43.10 for Ruby Blackburn. So coming down to the halfway point of the backstroke, towards the turn, still starting to come through now, chasing after our leader in lane 3, which is Jessica Turley, is Jessica Leitner in lane 5. Libby McGill still there as well, and also Izzy Salisbury. Coming up now to the back to breast turn, so we're at halfway. Hanging on to her lead, Jessica Turley, but really nothing to choose between them. In fact, she's just fractionally got overtaken there by Jessica Leitner, turning at the same time as Jessica Turley. 3:05s, both of them. 3:06 for Libby McGill, 3:09 for Izzy Salisbury. So it's tightened right up now, and in fact, away we go on the breaststroke, and the strongest breaststroker straight away of this leading pack is in lane 5, Jessica Leitner. And Jessica now turning at the end of her first length, but Jessica Turley also looking pretty good. Nothing between Libby McGill and Izzy Salisbury. Very close as well between Olivia Searle and Ruby Blackburn on opposite sides of the pool. They're both going extremely well. Still ahead of their entry times. So halfway, and our leader now has pulled out a 5 or 6 metre lead in lane 5. Jessica Leitner from St Albans. Libby McGill in lane 4. is the fastest 10-year-old entrant. The record is 6:24.32, and she's inside that pace at the moment for a 10-year-old. So she's going extremely well, Libby McGill, and looks like she's inside record pace. On the breaststroke, coming down now to the breast to free turn. Jessica Leitner from St Albans entered 6:27, 12-year-old swimmer. And she turns at 4:49.59 into the freestyle. Izzy Salisbury at 4:56.08 goes into the freestyle second. 5 minutes, 0.74 for Jessica Turley. Drop back a little bit on the breaststroke. 5:07.99 for lane 4, which is Libby McGill. She looks like she's going to be inside this record time. So 2 lengths to go for our leader. She comes up and turns now at 5:32.79. Jessica Leitner. Izzy Salisbury turns at 5:39. Jessica Turley at 5:42. Libby McGill, 10-year-old swimmer. 5:48, and she's looking for 6:24. Next to turn, Olivia Sill, 6:02, and 6:02 also for Ruby Blackburn. Last few strokes, about 8 meters to go for our leader. Jessica Leitner entered at 6:27.89 and records 6:14.82. Good swim in lane 6 as you saw. Speed entered at 6:40, goes at 6:20. Jessica Turley touches at 6:22, but let's look at lane 4. Record time 6:24. Oh, just outside 6:27, fractionally outside. Great swim though by Libby McGill. Bang on her entry time. Last few strokes coming down now in the outside lanes. It's going to be a race between Olivia Sill and Ruby Blackburn, and it goes to Olivia Sill 6:44, Ruby Blackburn 6:45. Well done to all of those girls. Heat number 3 of the ladies 400 meters IM. Heat 3, lane 1 is Jessica Penkel, who's 11 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 2 is Kate Andrew, who's 11 from Potters Bar. Lane 3, Courtney Burke, who's 12 from Cheshunt. Lane 4 is Nellie Easton, who's 11 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 5 is Libby Trailing, who's 12 from Harpenden. Lane 6 is Emily Lush, who's 11 from Cheshunt. Lane 7, Megan Pope, 12 from Cheshunt. And finally, another 12-year-old, Eleanor Bevan, in lane 8 from Hemel Hempstead. $36.82 for the fastest entrant in this one, which is Nellie Easton from Bishop Stortford, entered at 6:12. But going extremely well is Megan Pope in lane 7 from Cheshunt. These two very close at the moment. Third to turn is Kate Andrew from Potters Bar in lane 2. And then Courtney Burke from Cheshunt and Jessica Penkel. So coming up now to the fly to back turn. Bishop Stortford's Nellie Easton, first to turn at 1:21.49, 1:23.66 for Megan Pope, 1:26.39 for Kate Andrew, 1:28 for Courtney Burke, and then 1:29s for both lanes 5 and 1, which is Libby Trailing and Jessica Penkel, 1:31 and 1:33 for Eleanor Bevan and Emily Lush. halfway in the backstroke. Still comfortably in the lead at the moment for Bishop Stortford swimmer, Nellie Eastland, but also holding her place, as she did after the fly, is Megan Pope from Cheshunt in lane 7. But gradually now on the backstroke coming up in lane 2, Kate Andrew from Potters Bar. And also going well on the backstroke, lane 6 starting to move up as well, which is Emily Lush from Cheshunt. So coming down now to the turn. And it's still Bishop Stortford's Nellie Eastland who turns straight off into the breaststroke at 2:52, 2:54 for lane 7, which is Megan Pope, 2:59 for Kate Andrew in lane 2 for Potters Bar, 3 minutes for Jessica Penkel, and also for Libby Trailing, 3:02 for lane 6 and 3:04, 3:05 for 8 and 3. So that's Emily Lush and Eleanor Bevan and Courtney Burke in that order. Coming down towards the halfway point on the breaststroke, and now seeing good breaststroke coming through from some of the swimmers further back, but at the front we've still got it almost exactly as it was, but starting to catch up just a little bit now. Megan Pope on Nellie Eastland. There's really less than a second now between them. 3:49 though for lane 5, catching up as well, Libby Trailing, and Libby is looking very good. Libby's now starting to bring herself right up into contention with these. Strongest dress spoker in the pool at the moment. Eleanor Bevan from Hemel Hempstead's also looking pretty good out in lane 8. Coming down now towards the turn. And now it's a 3-swimmer race. Really excellent breaststroking in lane 5 from Libby Trailing. Brought her right back to the front, in fact. And Libby Trailing turns. And Libby Trailing is the first to turn there. 4:37.57, 4:37.87 now for Nellie Eastland in second place. Absolutely nothing to choose between them, and Megan Pope from Cheshunt only less than half a second behind these two. 3 swimmers in a line as they turn after 25 metres of the freestyle, 75 metres to go. So just the last 2 lengths to go, and a really big turn there from lane 4. Nellie Eastland, Bishop Stortford going for it now. Fastest entrant with 6:12, and Nellie turns just ahead of Libby Trailing and Megan Pope. Coming down to the last few strokes. And in lane 4, it's going to be Nellie Eastland from Bishop Stortford who touches first at 5:55.58, inside 6 minutes for first 3. 5:57.06 for Megan Pope, great last 10 metres. 5:57.58 for Libby Trailing, 6:08.5 for Kate Andrew, and 6:09.45. Eleanor Bevan, 6:13 for Emily Lush. And last few strokes, 6:20s for both Jessica Penkel and also for Courtney Burke. Heat number 4 of the 400 metres individual medley. These are records.
Okay, so here we go with heat number 7. Heat number 4 of 7. We've got Lauren Stott in lane 1 from Costa, who's 11. We've got Katie Harrison in lane 2, who's also 11 from Potters Bar. Alice Fender, who's 13 from Hemel. Ellen Northwood in 4:13 from Berkhamsted. Freya Bennett's in 5, 13-year-old from Costa. Charlotte Matthews in 6, 12-year-old from Bishop Stortford. Chloe Woodruff in 7 from Tringers 12, and Ella Chown, who's 11 in lane 8 from Costa. And it is Ella who turns first in a time of 36.50 at the 50-metre point. Ella still in the lead over in lane number 8. Ella is 11-year-old from Costa. As they come back for the quarter point at the 100-metre interval. But Ella still touches first in time 1:20.51. Charlotte Matthews touching second in lane 6 at 1:20.64. With Chloe Woodruff touching third in lane 7. So the second section now of the IM, as you see, is the backstroke. And looks like we have a new race leader at this point in lane 6. That's Charlotte Matthews of Bishop Stortford. So at the halfway point through the backstroke section, turning a time of 2:03.75. Charlotte Woodruff 2:05.99 and 2:06.15. That is Ella Chown. So this is the fourth heat of 7 of the women's 400-metre IM. But in lane 6, it's still Charlotte Matthews, our 12-year-old from Bishop Stortford. Who turns in a time of 2:46.20 into 100 metres now of breaststroke. Chloe Woodruff still chasing in lane 7, very close between Chloe in 7 and Ella in lane 8. Calling all men for event number 50 for the men's 200-metre breaststroke. That's all men for the men's 200-metre breaststroke to the marshing area. That's all boys for the 200-metre breaststroke to the marshing area now, please. So still Charlotte Matthews though in lane 6. Turning a time of 3:34.92. Charlotte's entry time is 6:04.94. Looks like she's well inside that at this stage. We do have 3 11-year-olds in this heat. That's Lauren Stott in lane 1, Katie Harrison in lane 2, and Ella Chown in lane number 8. So Ella in 8 at the moment, leading the race of the 11-year-olds. But Charlotte still setting the pace in lane 6 as she comes into the final section. Charlotte turns in time of 4:23.82 with 100 to go. Touching second, who will it be? It is lane number 7, that is Chloe Woodruff. Chloe from Tring, turning in 4:34.17 and a time of 4:35.14. Lane 4, there's Ellen Northwood of Berkhamsted. So with 50 to go. 50 to go for Charlotte Matthews. Charlotte turning time of 5:06.03. Second in lane 4, that's Ellen Northwood. And Chloe Woodruff in 3rd at this stage. But coming to close out her race, that is Charlotte Matthews. Charlotte will touch well inside her entry time, which was 6:04.94. Charlotte touched time of 5:47.03. Second, that's Ellen Northwood at 5:50.31. Third's Alice Fender in a time of 5:50.60. Katie Harrison touching in 5:54.07. And that completes heat number 4. So here we go, heat number 5 of the women's 400-metre individual medley referee. So heat number 5, we have in lane 1 Charlotte Watson from Berkhamsted, who's 13. We have Ellen Fender in 2, a 15-year-old from Hemel. In lane 3 we have Bailey Wilkes, a 12-year-old from Hatfield. In 4 Jessica Farrow, Jessica's 13 from Hatfield. In 5 Alicia Kramer, 15 from Hearts Flyers. In 6 Josie Precious White, Bishop Stortford, a 12-year-old. In 7 Emily Lampon, a 14-year-old from Bishop Stortford. And in lane 8 Megan Pointer, a 14-year-old from Bishop Stortford. So 2 12-year-olds in this heat in lanes 3 and 6. First section of the individual medley is the butterfly, as you can see. And setting the early pace in lane 5, that's Alicia Kramer from Hearts Flyers. Alicia touches in a time of 1:15.02. As Alicia, they turn into the backstroke section. Second, Jessica Farrow and Josie Precious White currently in 3rd. So Alicia Kramer turns in time 1:59.27. The second part of the backstroke. Second to Jessica Farrow and Emily Lampon in 3rd, with Ellen Fender currently in 4th. Our 12-year-olds in lanes 3 and 6. We've got Bailey Wilkes in lane 3 from Hatfield, and Josie Precious White in lane 6 going well. So, turning at the halfway mark time of 2:43.65, it's still Alicia Kramer from Jessica Farrow and Emily Lampon. So the race order doesn't seem to have changed at this stage, but you tend to find that the breaststroke leg does definitely make a difference. So let's see what happens. Eyes down on the pool, and let's see if there are any changes in the race positions. But it does look like there's a change of position with Jessica Farrow in lane 4 of Hatfield, who's assumed the race lead. So at the halfway point through the breaststroke leg, Jessica turns in a time of 3:30.38, with Alicia tying a time of 3:32.84, and Emily in 3:35 dead. But Jessica Farrow from Hatfield from a very strong breaststroking over in lane number 4, extending her lead over Alicia Kramer in lane 5. Jessica Farrow now turning in a time of 4:17.24 into the last section, the last 100 and freestyle. Jessica coming in now for the final 50 metres, turning a time of 4:55.61. Jessica with an entry time of 5:41.51. Alicia turning a time of 5:0.96 with Emily of 5:04.55. And Josie Precious White in 4th. So our battle of the 12-year-olds in 3 and 6 is very close. But coming in to close out the heat, it's still Jessica Farrow. Jessica will complete her heat in a time of 5:31.86. Alicia Kramer in time of 5:37.46. Emily Lampon in 5:40.12. Josie Precious White 5:41.88. And Charlotte Watson 5:43.22, very close between her and in lane 3, that's Bailey Wilkes. And finally, Ellen Fender in 5:59.91. So here we move on to now heat number 6 of the women's 400 metres individual medley. Referee.
I'll do a couple of Heat number 6 underway. Chloe Jacobs, 14 from Hartsmith Flyers in 1. Lane 2 is Juliet Merrily, who's 15 from Harpenden. Lane 3, Tegan Wollaston, who's 14 from Cheshunt. Lane 4, Millie Donovan, who's 15 from Cheshunt. Lane 5 is Grace Rayner, 15 from Hemel. Lane 6 is Shannon Stott. She's the fastest 13-year-old entrant in this whole event from St Albans. Lane 7 is Megan Cook, 14 from Bishop Stortford. And lane 8 is Emily's, who's 15 from St Albans. .33 at the first 50 mark for the two leaders in 6 and 7, Shannon and Megan. Both good fly swimmers. And the specialist fly swimmer standing out a little bit here. Also going well in lane 3, Tegan Wollaston from Cheshunt, a good fly swimmer. And coming up now to the fly to back, so this is where it could change. A lot of fly swimmers who are good on the backstroke as well. 112s, nothing, absolutely nothing. A 100th of a second between 6 and 7, Shannon and Megan. 113 for Tegan and 116 for Grace Rayner. 118s and 19s behind those. And still locked in battle, Megan Cook and Shannon Stott. But Tegan Wollaston's a good backstroker and she's starting to come up on these. Also now starting to make a move on the backstroke, looking strong. In lane 5 is Grace Rayner from Hemel Hempstead. Halfway, 153.95 and 85. 154 for Tegan and 158 for from Grace Rayner. Also good on the back, coming up well in lane 1 is Chloe Jacobs. The lead is still stroke for stroke. We're going to see how it goes into the breaststroke. I think that could unwind a little bit of this at the moment, but Tegan Wollaston has got right back up there. She's done well on the backstroke, but in the lead as they go into the halfway stage, 2:34. Shannon Stott just ahead of Grace Rayner, 2:34.86. Tegan Wollaston, 2:36 flat, 2:38.83 for Grace Rayner. And it's Shannon still pulling away a little bit on the breaststroke. Shannon's now pulled out a metre or so from Tegan and Grace Rayner. I'm sorry, Megan Cook in lane 7. But now coming through very strongly on the breaststroke. Grace Rayner from Hemel Hempstead, and Grace is really right back in this. Good breaststroke also in lane 2 from Juliet Merrily. 3:23, Shannon, but now Grace at 3:24, just inside her. 3:24 and 3:26, the two swimmers behind, but this is really closing up now on the breaststroke. Shannon still in the lead, only just now though. And now Grace Rayner trying to come back on terms with Shannon, and Shannon tying up a little bit on the breaststroke, and these two are going to go into the freestyle absolutely together. Shannon started in 6, Grace Rayner in 5, and they go into the freestyle together at 4:10. Nothing between them now. Way they go on the freestyle. 4:14s behind them for lanes 2 and 3, Juliet Merrily and Tegan Wollaston. 4:18 for Megan Cook, and 4:20 for Chloe Jacobs, and 4:23 for Millie Donovan, the last to turn into the freestyle. Shannon Stott now though, pulled out a little bit of the lead, going very well. She's going to be about 3 or 4 meters clear as she turns into the final 50 meters of freestyle. Now coming up strongly in lane 2 is Juliet Merrily. Juliet now going up into second place past Grace Rayner. And Tegan Wollaston, another good freestyler, starting to get up there as well, but Shannon's away. Final turn for Shannon, still a few meters clear at 5 minutes. And Shannon Stott it is, who's going to come into touch first. She's been chased very hard indeed by Juliet Merrily in lane 2, who's going extremely fast down this last few strokes. Shannon Stott touches, 5:22.01. Juliet Merrily, 5:24.11. Tegan Wollaston, 5:25.86. 5:26.06 for lane 5, which is Grace Rayner, and 5:28.75 for Megan Cook. And 5:37 completes that for Millie Donovan. So well done to all of those swimmers. Seventh and final heat of the ladies 400 meters individual medley. In this final heat in lane 1, we've got Fiona Thornton, who's 15 from Hatfield. Lane 2 is Yazzie Brand, who's 16 from Watford. Lane 3, Victoria Pritchard, 17 from Hatfield. 4 is Pippa Shuttleworth, 16 from Hatfield. 5, Georgie Pryor, 15 from Hoddesdon. Lane 6 is Lily West, 16 from Hatfield. 7, Amber Hughes, 15 from Hatfield. And finally, Amy Young in lane 8 is 14-year-old, youngest swimmer in this one from Bishop Stortford. Leading the way on the fly at the moment, lane 4, Pippa Shuttleworth, the fastest entrant from Hatfield. But being chased by, alongside her, Georgie Pryor, another good fly swimmer, and also Lily West, 3 special. Going into the backstroke, and Pippa's done very well because there's 2 specialist distance, or specialist fly swimmers there. Lily's a specialist distance, Georgie's more of a specialist sprinter. So halfway on the backstroke, 1:44. Pippa still pushing away from Georgie Pryor and Lily West. But also now coming strongly on the backstroke is Amy Young from Bishop Stortford, the 14-year-old in lane 8. There's no record listed for a 14-year-old in this event. So into the breaststroke, and still pushing away at front is Pippa Shuttleworth. Pippa holds the record for this. And she's looking very strong, a great distance swimmer. Georgie Pryor going after her, and Lily West is right up with Georgie. Lily's a good breaststroker too, so could see Lily overtaking Georgie on this discipline, and then see if Georgie can get it back on the freestyle. But moment it's Pippa in the lead. Lily West now solidly in second, Georgie in third, and coming through also now is Victoria Pritchard, Vicky Pritchard in lane 3, and she's been chased by Yazzie Brand from Watford in lane 2. And also in lane 8, Amy Young, 14-year-old Bishop Stortford swimmer, still going extremely well. Amber Hughes turning. So coming down now to her final discipline change. We've got the 2 Hatfield swimmers an hour away on this one, I think. Pippa Shuttleworth, Lily's gone extremely well on that, but Pippa's now away in 3:52, 3:53. Lily's going extremely well to be that close to Pippa at this stage. Georgie Pryor turns at 3:59. Vicky Pritchard at 4:01. 4:08 for Yazzie Brand, and 4:10 for Amy Young from Bishop Stortford, the youngest swimmer here. 4:15 for Amber Hughes. And Pippa into our last 2 lengths, 4:26. Lily at 4:29, both looking very good. And Georgie Pryor, 4:34. So coming down in the last few strokes, Vicky Pritchard just coming up to 5 minutes. Championship record which she has is 4:53. Touches in 5 minutes exactly. 5 minutes 03.66 for Lily West. And Georgie Pryor finishes in 5:08.37, just outside the junior record. Fourth to touch, 5:10.12 for Vicky Pritchard, 5:21.19 for Yazzie Brown, 5:22.36 for Amy Young, and 5:27 for Amber Hughes, 5:29 for Fiona Thornton. So that completes the 400 metres individual medley, and we go on now to event 50, which is the men's 200 metre breaststroke in time finals. Will be swum in 12 heats. Event number 50, the men's 200 metre breaststroke. 16-year-old and championship events are being swum under protest. The results of these events will be confirmed on a resolution of the protest. This means that there will be no medals or trophies awarded until the protest is concluded.
So, heat number 1 of the men's 200 metre breaststroke, swimmers in lanes 1 through 7, referee. So here we go with 8 lengths of breaststroke. 8 times 25 equals 200, and in lane 1 we have Taylor Coe from Cheshunt, in 2 Ruben Bouch from Hemel, in 3 Arthur Giles from Berkhamsted, in 4 Manraj Singh from Watford, 5 Edward Richardson from Costa, 6 Charlie Taverna from Watford, and in 7 George Williams from Harpenden. They are all 9 years old, so we have a heat full of 9-year-olds, lanes 1 through 7. But at the first split, in a time of 51.87, that's Manraj Singh of Watford. Manraj touching ahead of Arthur Giles in 3, and George Williams in 3rd at 54.90. So as the swimmers approach the halfway point, Manraj Singh in lane 4. Looks like he'll get the first touch, the halfway point, in a time of 1:53.26. George Williams in 1:54.34, and Arthur Giles in 1:56.05. A reminder that all our swimmers in this heat are 9 years old, and we do have a championship record currently at 3:21.11, set in 2007 by Ben Purcell of Hatfield. George Williams in lane 7, starting to put a bit of pressure on Manraj Singh in lane 4, very close between these two swimmers. And it is George that takes the lead in time of 2:54.05, just ahead of Manraj in lane 4, with Arthur Giles still in 3rd position. but George of Harpenden in lane number 7, George Williams there, started to extend his lead away from Manraj Singh in lane 4 from Watford. With Arthur Giles in lane 3 from Berkhamsted giving chase, but it looks like it will be George that does complete the race in a time of 3:53.03, just ahead of Manraj in 3:53.46, and Arthur Giles in time of 3:55.67. So that completes. In lane 1 we have Taylor Coe, and in 6 Charlie Taverner comes to complete the heat, with Taylor touching time of 4:15.77. And George coming in time of 4:22. Charlie comes in time of 4:22.56. Okay, heat number 2 of the men's 200-metre breaststroke. Referee. Okay, so we have Zane Batts in lane 1, 10-year-old from Cheshunt. In 2, Marco Tontadonati, a 10-year-old from Hoddesdon. In 3, Luke Pistale, a 10-year-old from Hemel. In 4, Theo Miller, 10-year-old from Costa. In 5, Dominic Burns, who's 10 from Stevenage. In 6, Oscar Bryce, 9 from Costa. In 7, Maxwell George, 10-year-old from Hatfield. And in lane 8, Mason Mills, a 9-year-old from Hemel. So 2 9-year-olds in lane 6 and 8. And the rest of our men in this heat are 10-year-olds. All very close to this stage, so we'll see who will be the early race leader at the first split. And it will be lane 8 in a time of 50.65. That's Mason Mills, our 9-year-old from Hemel Hempstead. Second is Zane and Oscar Bryce, currently third. So a reminder, we have 12 heats here of the boys 200 breaststroke, and if you do have the programs from today's sessions, you'll notice we do have some notable times at the beginning of each section displaying championship records. But at the halfway point it's still Mason Mills turning in time 1:50.18. Mason in lane 8. Ahead of Oscar Bryce in lane 6. So our 2 9-year-olds are current race leaders, with Zane Batts in lane 1 from Cheshunt, also giving chase, but in lane 6 that's Oscar Bryce. 7 is Maxwell George from Hatfield, and in lane 8 Mason Mills from Hemel. With Theo Miller in lane 4 from Costa, also not letting the race leaders get too far ahead. So this heat proving to be very close indeed. But with 50 to go, it's still our early race leader, Mason Mills, turning in time of 2:48.71, ahead of Maxwell George in time 2:49.53, and Zane Batt currently in third position. So with 25 to go, it looks like it's still our 9-year-old Mason Mills from Hemel in lane number 9. Very close between lanes 1 and 7. That's Zane Batt and Maxwell George. our 10-year-olds, Zane from Cheshunt and Maxwell from Hatfield in 7. But our 9-year-old Mason Mills looks like he will close out this heat. Mason in lane 8, touching in a time of 3:46.58. From strong finish from Theo Miller from Costa in time 3:48.45, just ahead of lane 1, that's Zane Batt from Cheshunt in 3:48.52.
Heat 3 of the men's 200 metres breaststroke. Heat 3, lane 1 is Samuel Scott from Harpenden. Lane 2, Bradley Borland from Harpenden. 3, Benjamin Green from Watford. 4 is Lewis Schuyler from Watford. 5, Alexander Backhouse from Hatfield. 6 is Max Robertson from Hatfield. And then Kieran Cook is in lane 7 from St Albans, and Hertford's Alex Tate is in lane 8. All 10 years old. 10-year-old record is 2:57.35. So a bit to do for these ones in this early heats, but going well at the moment in lane 5. Alex Backhouse from Hatfield entered at 3:49. Few swimmers all together though going after him. 50 metre split, 46.95 for Alexander Backhouse, and then second the turn is at 50.49 for Benjamin Green. 51s for lanes 8, 4 and 6 chasing after him, which is Alexander Tate and Lewis Schuyler and Max Robertson. Still in the lead, Alexander Backhouse, and he's pulling out a bit more of a lead here. Turning at 1:14, coming down towards his halfway split. Right after him at the moment seems to be lane 8, Alex Tate from Hertford. Seems to be the next best swimmer in this. He's just going in second place now, just perhaps fractionally ahead of lane 3, which is Benjamin Green from Watford, although they're very close. Ben's coming back quite strongly now. Alexander Backhouse at halfway, 1:40.42. Entered at 3:49. Second to turn is 1:48.11 for Benjamin Green, 1:49.32 for Alex Tate, 1:49.78 for Max Robertson, 1:50s for Lewis Schuyler and Bradley Borland, and 1:54 and 1:56 for Samuel Scott and Kieran Cook at halfway. So, coming down towards his final 50-metre turn. Looking round, trying to see where everyone else is, but Alexander Backhouse is well in the lead at the moment. Entered at 3:49, and he's got 50 to go at 2:35, so looking very good. It's very close behind him. There's a lot of swimmers all in this for the second, third and fourth. 2:45.67. Alex Tate now just ahead of 2:46.53, Benjamin Green, 2:50.3 for Lewis Schuyler and 2:50.47 for Max Robertson, 2:51, 2:55, 2:59 for the others. Into his final 15 metres, Alexander Backhouse. Entered, remember, at 3:49.95. Long way inside that. 3:49.95, and he comes in and touches at 3:29. 20 seconds inside, 3:29.23. It's going to be close behind him, extremely close, coming in the last few strokes, and it looks like it's going to be, just got there on the touch. Alex Tate from Hertford, 3:41.06, 3:41.31 for Benjamin Green And 3:45.16 for Max Robertson in lane 6, 3:46.56 for Bradley Borland. And that completes the heat. And we come on now to heat number 4 of the men's 200-metre breaststroke. Lane 1 is Luke Canning, who's 10 from Borehamwood. Lane 2, Ollie Parker, who's 10 from Hertford. Lane 3, Callum Bullock, who's 11 from Tring. Lane 4, Dominic McCarthy, 11 from Hoddesdon. And then the rest are all 10-year-olds. Lane 5 is Toby Clifford from St Albans. Lane 6, Luke Temple from Harpenden. Lane 7 is Alex Horn from St Albans. And lane 8 is Thomas Ogden from Bishop Stortford. 2 11-year-olds in 3 and 4, and the rest are all 10. So, close, but it's going to be lane 6 turning first at 47.96. That's Luke Temple from Harpenden. 49.49 behind him for Alex Horn, and 2 swimmers on 50 directly behind those, but there's a few on 50 and 51. Pushing on hard in lane 6. Luke Temple entered at 3:43.94. So to be on his time, he should be turning around 150, so going to be well ahead of that at the moment. Luke Temple from Harpenden, 10-year-old. Turns at halfway, 1:41.14. Very close behind him though, next to turn lane 3 at 1:46.09 is Callum Bullock, and then 1:46.72 is Alex Horn. 1:46.83 at halfway, Dominic McCarthy, 1:47.72 and 1:50. Next 2 swimmers. So he's pulling out just a little bit more. He's only got 50 metres to go at this turn. Last 50. Big, long, nice long glide. Very efficient for a 200-metre breaststroker in lane 6. And Luke turns at 2:34.99 into his last 2 lengths. 2:41.15, so getting closer to him now, Callum Bullock, but still a way away. 2:43.98 for Alex Horn and 2:44.22 for Dominic McCarthy. 2:46 for Ollie Parker. 2:49 for Alex Ogden and 2:53 for Toby Clifford. 3 minutes exactly for Thomas Ogden with 50 to go. Luke Canning. So coming down now to the last few strokes, it's lane 6. Luke Temple from Harpenden, and he touches a 3:26.63, entered at 3:43, so a really excellent swim. Second to touch, 3:34.19 for Callum Bullock, entered at 3:42. 3:39.22 for Dominic McCarthy, and 3:39.71 for Alex Horn. 3:42.9 for Ollie Parker, and 3:46.5 for Thomas Ogden. Last couple of swimmers coming in. 3:54.19 for Toby Clifford, and completing the race, Luke Canning in 4 minutes, 03.82 in lane 1.
So here we go, heat number 5 of the men's 200 metre breaststroke. Got swimmers in all 8 lanes, referee. So here we go, heat number 5 of the boys 200 metre breaststroke. We got Alfie Francis in lane 1, who's 11-year-old from Potters Bar. In 2, Yannick Wilson, an 11-year-old from Harpenden. In 3, Bryn Cowser, an 11-year-old from Bishop Stortford. In 4, Ryan Pocock, 12-year-old from Stevenage. In 5, Toby Laguda, 11-year-old from Hatfield. 6, Nicholas Boter, 11-year-old Bishop Stortford. In 7, our 10-year-old Louis Armitage from Berkhamsted. And in lane 8, Ethan Sutton, an 11-year-old from Watford. But at the first split, that will be Toby Laguda of Hatfield, touching a time of 43.46. Just ahead of Bryn Cowser and Ryan Pocock. So in this heat number 5, we still have Toby Laguda as our early race leader from Hatfield. Very close though in lanes 2, 3 and 4. With in lane 2, Yannick Wilson of Harpenden. But at the turn in the time of 1:35.03, that's still Toby Laguda. Ahead of Yannick Wilson in time 1:35.85 and Bryn Cowser in 3rd. So very close indeed now between lanes 2, 3, 4 and 5. Yannick Wilson in 2, Brian Cowser in 3, Ryan Pocock in 4, Toby Laguda in 5. But Toby touches in a time of 2:26.57, just ahead of Yannick. Final phase of the race now, so quite possible we may have a change in the race positions. But Yannick Wilson in lane 2 from Harpenden. Looks to be putting on a shift now in lane 2, picking up and extending his lead. Yannick, 11-year-old. Yannick touches in a time of 3:15.16, well inside his entry time. With Ryan Pocock at 3:17.01. Toby Laguda in lane 5 at 3:17.20. Brian Cowser in a time of 3:19.86. Nicholas Boter in a time of 3:27.54. Followed by Louis Armitage in 3:31.92 and Ethan Sutton in 3:37.48. Okay, so here we go with heat number 6 of the men's 200 metre breaststroke. We have swimmers in all 8 lanes, referee. So here we go, heat number 6. In lane 1 we have Nathan Stewart from Stevenage, who's a 12-year-old. Luke Moore in lane 2, a 12-year-old from Hatfield. In 3, Matteo Tontadonati, a 12-year-old from Hoddesdon. In 4, Guy Munter, 11-year-old from Stevenage, Costa. In 5, Nicholas Holus, 12-year-old from Hatfield. In 6, Ralph Davis, 12-year-old from Hoddesdon. In 7, Matthew Redjeb, 12-year-old from Watford. And in lane 8, Nathan Wankling, 12-year-old from Hatfield. So all 12-year-olds in this heat, with the exception of lane number 4, that's Guy Munter, an 11-year-old from Costa. And touching first, that will be Nathan Wankling, touching a time of 43.94. As you can see, the 200 breaststroke, different style of breaststroking as opposed to the sprints. But Nathan Wankling in lane number 8 from Hatfield. At the halfway turn, touching in a time of 1:33.80. That's Guy Munter turning 1:35.99, with Matteo Tontonate in 1:36.96. So after this heat, we will be halfway through event number 50. But it's still Nathan Wankling in lane number 8 from Hatfield. Nathan will turn into the final 50 in a time of 2:24.17. Second to Guy Munter, our 11-year-old in this heat, in a time of 2:27.53, and turning in 2:29, that's Ralph Davis from Hoddesdon. So with 25 to go, it is still Nathan Wankling from Hatfield in lane number 8. But Guy Munter, our Costa 11-year-old in lane number 4. Holding off Ralph Davis in lane number 6 from Matthew Redjab in 7. But there's Nathan, the touching in time of 3:14.80. With Guy Munter touching second in time of 3:17.02, and Ralph Davis in time of 3:19.86 in third spot. And that completes heat number 6.
And we're now up to heat 7 of the men's 200-metre breaststroke. Lane 1, Kieran McCarthy is 12 from St Albans. Lane 2, Matthew Cook is 13 from Stevenage. 3, Matthew Tester Wilson is 12 from Harpenden. Lane 4 is Hassan Zaid, who's 13 from Hemel Hempstead. Lane 5, James Blount, who's 13 from Potters Bar. Lane 6, Harvey Bannister, 13 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 7 is Stephen Rafey, who's 13 from Bishop Stortford as well. And finally, Thomas Cadenhead in lane 8 is 11 from St Albans. He's the youngest swimmer in this heat. Not the fastest 11-year-old. We've got another one of those to come in 3 heats time. First to turn though at 40.18 is Harvey Bannister. 40.41.45. 3 on 41s, 3, 4 and 7 right behind him. Matthew Tester-Wilson, Hassan Zain and Stephen Refi. But still first to the turn, coming down towards the halfway. Lane 6, Harvey Bannister from Bishop Stortford. Very different styles in the pool. Very flat style in lane 3 by Matthew Tester-Wilson alongside Hassan Zain. But Harvey Bannister, first to turn and halfway, 126.96, 127.62 from Matthew, and then 128.22 from Hassan. It's 129 for Stephen Rafi and 131. 132, 133 is the other turns. So coming up to the 3/4 mark, and now starting to catch Harvey Bannister, Hassan Zaid in lane 4 and Matthew Tester-Wilson in lane 3. And these are all very close together. And it's Matthew who's in the lead, 2:14.2, 2:15.04 for Hassan Zaid and 2:15.39 for Harvey Bannister, 2:18 for Stephen Rafi and 2:22 for lane 5, James Blount, 2:24 for Kieran Rafi, and then 2:26 for Matthew Cook. 2:34 for Thomas Cadenhead. Into the final length now though. See, very long flat stroke from lane 3, Matthew Tester-Wilson. Very smooth, not jerky, long pull. Can he hang on to it from Hassan Zaid? These two are really, really tight. It's going to be close, and it goes to 3 minutes exactly for Matthew Tester-Wilson, into the 3:08. 3 minutes, .31 for Hassan Zaid. 3 minutes, 04, 38, third to touch for Harvey Bannister. 3:05.55 for Stephen Rafi. 3:12.78 for James Blount. 3:16 for Kieran McCarthy. 3:17 for Matthew Cook. And last two strokes, 3:27.63 for Thomas Cadenhead. Heat 8 of the men's 200 metres breaststroke. Heat 8, we've got lane 1, Joshua Purcell, 13 from Hertford. Lane 2 is Daniel Lush, who's 13 from Cheshunt. 3, David Shipman, 13 from Potters Bar. 4 is Callum Davis, 13 from Bishop Stortford. 14-year-old Jack Sherrill-Coopers in lane 5 from Potters Bar. Mason Brand in lane 6, he's 12 years old from Berkhamsted. And he's not the fastest 12-year-old entrant in this. We've got 12-year-old in the final heat. Jack Fagan's in lane 7, he's 14 from Watford, and another 12-year-old, Joseph Richardson from Harpenden, is in lane 8. At 50 metres, it's 39.23, so under 40 now for the leader. Odd things coming up on the board there, but we'll hopefully it'll be okay as we go along. And as they come up to the turn, first to turn, Daniel Lush from Cheshunt, and being chased by 2 swimmers, 3 swimmers alongside him in fact. Daniel Lush and David Shipman and Callum Davis, but also over in lane 6 is Mason Brand going well too. And this is the halfway turn. So at 100 metres, 1:24.59. For Daniel Lush, first to turn. And as they come up to 3 lengths to go, and now absolute to go. Daniel Lush in 2, David Shipman in 3, Callum Davis in 4. These three now, stroke for stroke, coming down to the final 50-metre split at 150 metres. And they've all accelerated a little bit. And on the other side of the pool, there's three swimmers in a line there as well. But turning now, and they're absolutely together, all on 2:11. 2:13s for 6 and 7 as well for Mason Brown and Jack Fagan. But in the pack at the front, Daniel Lush in 2, David Shipman 3, Callum Davis in 4. Callum Davis now just going into the lead from David Shipman. And Callum Davis is just gone to the front. David Shipman in second, Daniel Lush in third. Mason Brand now in fourth, but only just ahead of Joseph Richardson in lane 8. Last few strokes coming into 5 metres to go. And it's Callum Davis from Bishop Stortford entered at 2:58.6. Going to be close. Who gets the touch? And it is Callum Davis, 2:54.51. 2:54.97 for David Shipman. 2:56 for Daniel Lush. 2:57 for Mason Brand in fourth.
Here we go now with heat number 9 of the men's 200-metre breaststroke referee. So in lane 1 we have Cole James, 12-year-old from Tring. In 2, Ralph Munster, 13 from Costa. In lane 3 we have Ryan Brewster, 14-year-old from Hoddesdon. We have no swimmer in lane 4. In 5, George Loveman, 13-year-old from Costa. In 6, Callum Hurren, 13 from Hatfield. In 7, Charlie Rayner, 12-year-old from Hemel Hempstead. And in lane 8, James Woodward, 14-year-old from Potters Bar. So 2 12-year-olds in this heat in lanes 1 and 7. So current race leader, lane 7, that's Charlie Rayner, Charlie 12 from Hemel Hempstead, being pushed hard by lane 5, George Loveman. But at the halfway mark, let's see who gets touched first. So in a turn of 1:21.73, that's Charlie Rayner, touches first. Can we have all the women for the relay for event number 51, all the women for the 4x100 metre freestyle relay, please report to the marshalling area straight away, please. But still in lane 7, it's Charlie Rayner, Charlie from Hemel, who's just ahead at this stage from lane 5, George Loveman. Charlie turning a time 2:05.79. Just ahead of George Loveman, and in third spot at this stage, that's James Woodward. But sprinting to the end, we have Charlie Rayner. Charlie in lane 7 from Hemel, with some strong breaststroke in there. Charlie, a 12-year-old, coming to finish in a time of 2:48.27, ahead of George Loveman from Costa, time 2:50.33, and James Woodward in lane 8 of 2:51.69. Cole James 2:56. That completes heat 9. So here we go with heat number 10. Heat number 10 of the men's 200 metre breaststroke. We have swimmers in all 8 lanes, referee. So in lane 1 we have Carl Holmes, 14-year-old from Hemel. In 2 we have a 11-year-old in Reese Houston from Hatfield. In 3 Matthew Williams, 15-year-old from Hitchin. In 4 Ben Harrison, 13-year-old from Potters Bar. In 5 Ollie Hurst, 14-year-old from Berkhamsted. In 6 Jordan Northwood, 14-year-old from Berkhamsted. In 7 Jack Filer, 16-year-old from Berkhamsted. And lane 8 Sam Murcott, 15-year-old from Tring. So who will get the touch of the first split? It will be Ollie Hurst in a time of 35.53 from Berkhamsted. Second to Jack Filer. And third, Matthew Williams. We will keep a close eye on Reese Houston in lane 2 in this heat. Reese is an 11-year-old with an entry time of 2:49.41 with a championship record of 2:44.55. But at the halfway split, it is Ollie Hurst turning in a time 1:16.17. Ollie from Berkhamsted with his teammate Jordan Northwood right alongside him in lane 6, both 14-year-olds. But our 11-year-old Reese Houston going very well in lane 2 still. But with 50 to go, our early race leader continues in the time 1:59.06. That is Ollie Hurst. Ollie with his teammates Jordan Northwood alongside him with in lane 4, that's Ben Harrison, a 13-year-old from Potters Bar. But with 15 to go, it's still Ollie Hurst at Berkhamsted. Ollie Hurst touching a time of 2:42.17. Ben Harrison in 2:44.03. And third, Jordan Northwood in time of 2:44. 2:45 goes to Matthew Williams. So here we go with the penultimate heat. This is heat number 11 of the men's 200 metre breaststroke, referee. In 1, we got Lewis Pope, 14 from Cheshunt. In 2, Alexander Wrong, 14 from Acosta. 3, Josh Fruin, 17 from Tring. 4, Ethan Farrell, 16 from Hatfield. 5, Joseph Collins, 15 from Bishop Stortford. 6, Tom Sheriff from Hemel Hempstead, who's 18. 7, Morgan Newman, who's 13 from Potters Bar. In lane 8, Robert Jennings from Tring, who's 16. But turning first time of 34.18 at the first split, that is Ethan Farrell. Second to Tom Sheriff. So one more heat of the 200 breaststroke after this. That'll be the final heat. And a reminder, we have a number of unclaimed medals, so please make sure you do claim your medals. But at the halfway split, that is still Ethan Farrell turning a time of 1:13.75. Calling please all the boys for event 52, the men's 4x100 metre medley. Please report to marching area. Please all the remaining swimmers for tonight's session, that is the boys for 4x100 metre medley relay. But Ethan Farrell, our 6-year-old from Hatfield, in lane number 4, extending his lead. Ethan turning a time 1:53.48. And our 13-year-old Morgan Newman in lane number 7 turning a time of 2:00.88. Ethan with an entry time of 2:39.81. Very close for second, third and fourth, but it looks like that Ethan Farrell in lane 4 will close out the heat with lane 2, Alexander Acosta, a 14-year-old. Very close between him and lanes 5 and 6, Joseph Collins and Tom Sheriff. But Ethan does finish his heat in 2:33.83. Second to Alexander Ong in 2:38.93. And Tom Sheriff in third position in time of 2:40.23.
And heat number 12 is the final heat of the individuals of the men's 200 metres breaststroke. Got some fast swimmers in the start swim. We start with lane 1, Matthew Alderson, 17 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 2 is Peter Hensman, 16 from St Albans. 3 Hatfield swimmers, Harry Parker in 3, he's 15, Ben Purcell in 4, who's 16, Nathan Hughes, who's only 13 years old, in lane 5. Tom Fruin from Tring is in lane 6, Ollie Taverner from Watford is 12 years old in lane 7, he's the youngest swimmer in this final, and then Chris Smith, 17 from Hoddesdon, is in lane 8. Ben Purcell, 32.21. His first to turn, and the fastest entrant in this. And we're coming up now to a turn, and Ben turns. The championship record is 2:18.95. Junior championship is 2:23.19. There's lots of other records for the ones in the pool at the moment. But coming up to the halfway sweep, Ben Purcell, good lead at the moment. He's going to turn at 1:08.11. 68.11 for Ben Purcell. Second to turn is in 71.98 for lane 8, Chris Smith, and then 1:12.71 for Nathan Hughes, the 13-year-old. 1:13.69 for Tom Fruin. But Ben's on his final. Ben coming down now towards his final 50-metre turn. And it's still pretty tight. Chris Smith out in lane 8 is right up there with Nathan Hughes in lane 5 now in second, but Ben turns 1:45.22. And who's second to turn? It's going to be Nathan Hughes, 1:51.18. Chris Smith, 1:52.74. 1:54. Lane 3, Harry Parker now. 1:54 also for lane 6 and 1, Tom Fruin and Matthew Aldershorn. Very close for the third place spot. Ben Purcell on his way down to the end. Enters at 2:25. The championship record is 2:18. He's just outside that. And Ben touches 2:23.07. And second to touch 2:29.59 for Nathan Hughes. And in 2:33.71 third to touch there, Tom Fruin from Tring. Just checking to see if there were any more age group records broken there. I don't think so. But that completes all of the individual events for this 2014 Hertfordshire County Championships. We've got a couple of relays to finish with though. And so just got 2 relays to finish. And we're going to be the women's 4x100 metres freestyle senior timed relay, which is event 51, and the men's 4x100 metres senior relay, and that's going to be in 2 heats, both of those. So the first of those is going to be some in 2 heats. In heat 1 we've got teams in lanes 3, 4 and 5, Hitchin A in 3, Berkhamsted A in lane 4 and Potters Bar A in lane 5. Been doing this now for 2 weeks, and the new club indications and abbreviations that we have here still just can't get Berkhamsted, I'm afraid. Heat 1 of event 51, the women's 4x100 metres freestyle relay, teams in lanes 3, 4 and 5. So just the 3 teams in this first heat, Hitchin in lane 3, Berkhamsted in 4 and Potters Bar in lane 5. Leading off, I've got Rebecca Scott for Hitchin, Charlie Stevens for Berkhamsted and April Richards for Potters Bar. 4 lengths to the pool, don't forget, for this freestyle relay. Very evenly matched coming up to the halfway of the first leg. All on 30 seconds, 31 seconds, very close indeed, only less than half a second between them all. But now, on the final turn, pushing on very hard. Rebecca Scott from Hitchin, just a little bit clear now of the other 2 teams who are together, but there's not going to be much to choose between these as they go into the first handover. Rebecca's handing over to Jessica Scott in Hitchin, Charlie's handing over to Jess Potts, and April's handing over to Katie Conyers. So 103.08 for Hitchin, 104.68 for Potters Bar, and 105.03 for Berkhamsted. In the pool at the moment then. Jessica Scott for Hitchin in lane 3, Jess Potts for Berkhamsted in lane 4, and Potters Bar's Katie Conyers is in second in lane 5. And Katie's going extremely well. She's getting very close to Hitchin at 134 at halfway on this leg. 135 for Potters Bar and 137 for Berkhamsted. And now absolutely together, Hitchin in lane 3, Potters Bar in lane 5, and Potters Bar now just starting to sneak into the lead. Katie Conyers is going to be handing over to Samantha, over in lane 5, and Samantha over goes in. 2:08.57 halfway, 2:09.7 for Rebecca, handing over to Madrid Cashin, and then 2:12.32 for Berkhamsted, handing over now to Eleanor MacDonald in the pool. Coming down to the halfway of this third leg. And the lead still 2:38.86. Pulling away slightly now, Potters Bar. But Hitchin now coming under pressure from Berkhamsted. These two are very close. And they turn together. Berkhamsted right up with Hitchin now. And coming down into 10 metres to the turn for our leaders. Potters Bar, Samantha over is going to hand over to Phoebe Love. And in goes Phoebe at 3:13.37. 3:17s for both Hitchin and Berkhamsted. We've now got Charlotte Watson in lane 4 and Alex Moore in for Hitchin in lane 3. Now these times you need to take note of, ready for the second heat. .50 to go for Potter's Bar, 3:42. Locked together, Berkhamsted and Hitchin. Both turn at 3:48, 3:49. Final turn at under 4 minutes for Potter's Bar. Coming into the last few strokes, Potter's Bar are in the lead. Berkhamsted going after him. Hitchin trying to keep up with Berkhamsted. But it's going to be Potter's Bar A who touch and finish in 4:15.37. Berkhamsted are just going to come through and touch in second in this heat, and they do it 4:23.47, and Hitchin at 4:25.59. So those are the times we have to remember going into the second heat, and we've got lanes 2 to 7 in the heat 2, so six teams to compete for the second heat.
So here we go with heat number 2 of 2 of event 51, the women's 4x100 meter freestyle referee. So as Peter said, a time of 4:15.37 is the target time for these swimmers. In lane 2 we have Hertfordshire A, in 3 Watford A, in 4 Hatfield A, in 5 Hatfield B, in 6 Watford B, and in 7 Hemel A. Very close as expected, it's very early stage, but touching first for Hatfield's Lily West. Hatfield in lanes 5 and 4, Hatfield A being led by Lily West, Hatfield B by Victoria Pritchard. But the first handover is Hatfield B, the handover between Lily West and Michelle Mitchell. Within third spot, that's Watford A. Faye Nugent for Hatfield in lane 4. Turning in time of 1:31.11. Second to Hatfield B with Michelle Mitchell in the time of 1:31.48. And for Watford, Yazil Brand. But as they approach the halfway point, the second handover to the third leg, lane 4, that's Hatfield A. Pippa Shuttleworth in a time of 2:02.26, ahead of Hatfield B from Watford. Hatfield are turning a time of 2:31.39, just extending the lead from their teammates. Hatfield B in lane number 5, opening up a 3-second advantage. The time of 4:15.37, that was the time set by Potter's Bar in the first heat. Pippa Shuttleworth handing over to Katie Armitage, the anchor leg, in lane 4. Similarly, Ellie Fogg for Hatfield in lane 5, and in lane 3, that's Alison Binns. But with 50 to go, that's Hatfield A in the form of Katie Armitage in a time of 3:30.14. Hatfield B in a time of 3:35.40. And Watford A in time of 3:38.11. But completing in a time of 4:00.36, that is Hatfield. Hatfield A from Hatfield B in 4:07.02. That's a Hatfield 1-2 with Watford A in 4:09.20. Fourth, that's Harpenden in time 4:16.13. Hemel 4:18.74. And Watford B in a time of 4:20.03. So that completes event 51, the women's 4x100 metre freestyle.
And we move on to the final event, which is the men's 4x100 metres medley relay. This is going to be swum in 2 heats, and the first heat has got some swims in lanes 3, 4 and 5. Again, just 3 teams in this first heat. Watford B team in lane 3, Hemel A in 4 and Berkhamsted A in 5. Four lengths to the pool of each of these disciplines. And as they come up to the halfway point on the backstroke, not much there at all. 32.95 for Berkhamsted, just ahead of 33.18 for Hemel Hempstead and 34 for Watford. Just pulling away a little bit though is Josh Gaines for Hemel Hempstead, Jack Fagan's in for Watford, and Harry Ormrod for Berkhamsted. But at the moment it's Josh Gaines for Hemel is going to be handing over to Tom Sheriff in the lead. Harry Ormrod's going to be handing over to Jack Filer. And go Hemel at 106.47, 108.24 for Jack Filer going in at 110.21 for Jack Fagan, handing over to Marcus Kemp. Marcus Kemp on the breaststroke. Powerful breaststroke in the lead at the moment in lane 4, Hemel Hempstead. Tom Sheriff at halfway turns at 140.24. Jack Filer 143.79 and Marcus Kemp at 147.85 for the Watford B team. Coming back down to the halfway breast to fly turn. I'm going to be handing over in the lead. Hemel Hempstead's Tom Sheriff handing over to Freddie Woodcock, 17-year-old going in for Hemel next. And they go in now at 2:19.33. Next to go in, Jack Filer handing over to Hamish McCaig at 2:23.67 for Berkhamsted, and then Harry Williams going in now at 2:30.56 for Watford's B team. Halfway 2:46 for Hemel. So Hemel pushing on hard now in the fly. 3:02 the turn. So coming down now to hand over Freddie Woodcock to Matt Sheriff, 16-year-old, going in and goes in now, 3:20.04. A little bit further back now, the Berkhamsted team, Hamish McCaig, going to be handing over to Jean-Luc Summerfield. And Jean-Luc ready to go in, and in goes Jean-Luc. Not far behind, Harry Williams handing over to Harrison Lees, and in goes Harrison at 3:38.93. Hemel still pushing on hard. Don't forget, the winning times will come from both heats. Hemel's seed time was 4:19. Not going to be far away from that. And Hemel Hempstead coming down, going to be inside their seed time, so that's a good swim. And they touch first at 4:16.63. Berkhamsted now into their last 10 metres. Watford B just coming up to the final turn. And Berkhamsted come through and they touch it 4:29.17. Watford's B team with just 20 metres to go. 20 metres, they're coming into the last 10 metres now. And Watford's B team are going to complete this first heat and they finish in 4:47.56 seconds. So remember those, 4:16, 4:29, 4:47, and we move over to the very last heat of the very last event of this 2014 Championships.
We have handed in some arena goggles and matching case, black leather case with arena goggles. So if you are missing those, please do come to me over here and you can reclaim them. So here we go, the final heat of the final event, the men's 4x100 metre medley relay referee. Okay, so back breast fly free. 100 each, with a time of 4:29.17 to beat, set by Berkhamsted in the first heat. In lane number 2 we have Hitchin, in 3 Hoddesdon, 4 Hatfield A, in 5 Hatfield B, and in lane 7 we have Tring. This could be a very exciting race. Let's make sure we keep eyes on the board. Touching first in 28.61 of the very first split, that's Hatfield B, that's Luke Hazelhurst. From Rory McMonagle of Hatfield A. Both very strong backstrokers. But Luke Hazelhurst will touch first time of 58.59, handing over to Nico Campbell. Nico in the breaststroke leg for Hatfield B with his counterpart Martin Walton. Martin Walton swimming the breaststroke leg for Hatfield A in lane 4. Very close in lanes 2 and 3 between Hitchin and Hoddesdon. At the halfway point of the breaststroke leg, it is Nico Campbell, turning in time 1:29.47 from Martin Walton 1:30.17. And touching third in lane 3, that's Chris Smith of Hoddesdon. Matthew Williams for Hitchin in lane 2, and Tom Fruin for Tring in lane 7. And Martin and Nico stroke for stroke in lanes 4 and 5. Very close indeed as they hand over. Very close still, though it's lane 5 Hatfield B. That's Nico Campbell hands over to Caleb Hughes, and Will Kearsey for Hatfield A in lane 4. Both very good turns there, but just pulling slightly away is Caleb Hughes in lane 5. One stroke between them, half a second between them. That's Hatfield B in lane 5, Hatfield A in lane 4. Hoddesdon turning in time of 2:42.83 from Hitchin in 2:42.90. But Caleb Hughes in lane 5, Hatfield B, handing over to Josh Duggan. Tim Shuttleworth for Hatfield A in lane 4. Paul O'Doherty will hand over to James Arengian. In 2, that's Alec Birchall who takes over. But still, Hatfield B turning 3:26.46. Look like they will close out this heat. But over in lane number 7, very strong coming back for Tring is Greg Baxter. Look at this. But it is Hatfield B in a time of 3:53.95. From A, 3:57.28. But the anchor leg for Hoddesdon, who will take third in a time of 4:15.86. From Hitchin in 4:18.11. And Tring in a time of 4:23.92 complete that heat, complete that event, and complete this evening's proceedings. The warm-up tomorrow morning is at 8:30. I'll be here. So will Peter.